Next topic given to us is limiting reagent. So what is this limiting reagent means? A reagent that is going to limit a reaction. Limit na another, it will stop. It will have a boundary, or it will try to make an end of that reaction. So there are some reagents that is going to limit the reaction. So earlier we learned the stoichiometric concept, which is useful in predicting the amount of product formed in the chemical reactions. So what did we saw just now? Stoichiometric calculations, which will be helpful in predicting the product. Ivlo product form agum, ivlo amount of reactant eduthen appadina I will get this much amount of product. Adha calculate pandrathoda idea da stoichiometric calculations. So here what we are going to see is, if the reaction is carried out with stoichiometric quantities of reactants, then all the reactants must be converted into products. So if you are taking the reactants on the basis of stoichiometric quantity, what they are saying, all the reactants will be converted into products in terms of stoichiometric quantities. On the other hand, when a reaction is carried out using non-stoichiometric quantities of the reactant, then the product yield will be determined by the reactant that is completely consumed. For example, stoichiometric calculations to prepare 10 moles of ammonia, how much of nitrogen is needed? We saw the answer, how 15 moles of hydrogen was required. If we are taking 15 moles of nitrogen, then definitely we will get 10 moles of ammonia. That is the basis. That is stoichiometrically we are calculating, which means ivlo amount eduthana enak ivlo product kedaikum abindrathu I will be very sure in formation of the product yield amount. Okay, but if you are doing the reactions in non-stoichiometric quantities na, if endha amount ne theriyama, instead of knowing the amount of reactants, we are just taking it randomly. Okay, so I'm preparing rice without knowing the quantity. I'm just taking some different bowls quantities or 5 bowls 10 bowls ete calculate pandrena. I will not say how much of rice will be can be prepared in a 2 bowl of rice. I will not know, because in the bowl oda quantity enakku theriyadu. That is measurement value. I will not know the quantity of that bowl. No. So same way, enna amount எடுக்கிறோன்றத தெரியாமே நம்ம calculation பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா நம்மளோட ப்ராடக்ட் என்னவாகும், the amount of reactant எவ்வளோ எடுத்திருக்கோமோ அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி தான் the product also will be formed. இருக்கிற reactants will be completely consumed to give the amount of a product. It limits the further reaction from taking place, and it is called as a limiting reagent. So which means அந்த ரியாக்ஷனில் ஒரே ஒரு 2 ரியாக்டன்ட் இருக்குது அப்படின்னா அதில் ஒரு ரியாக்டன்ட் வந்து ரொம்ப கம்மியாக எடுத்திருக்கோம் unknowingly, or non-stoichiometrically we have taken a lesser amount of reactant out of 2 reactants. So the product will be stopped because of that one lesser reactant. So product formation 100% இருக்காது. எவ்வளோக்கு எவ்வளோ reactant இருக்கோ அவ்வளோக்கு அவ்வளோ ப்ராடக்ட் தான் நமக்கு கிடச்சிருக்கும். So that reactant or reagent only we call it as a limiting reagent. So I will say you again. I'm having A and B as reactants. A I'm having 5 times, B I'm having only 2 times. The product I'm going to get is A, B. So for example, 5 times and 2 times of B, for example, எனக்கு 10 times of AB கிடைக்கணும் அப்படின்னா I will not get 10 times of AB, I will get only 7 times of AB. For example, I am saying, because this is not equal to this. 2 times of B only I am having. The next reactant or reagent, it is only present 2 times than the first reactant. So what will happen, இது எவ்வளோ அமௌண்ட் ப்ரெசென்ட் ஆயிருக்கோ இது கம்ப்ளீட்டாக கன்சியூம் ஆகிற வரைக்கும் தான் எனக்கு ப்ராடக்ட் ஃபார்மேஷனும் நடக்கும். அப்போது இதனால் என்னோட ரியாக்ஷன் நின்று போயிடுச்சு. பட் இது இன்னும் எக்ஸஸாக எனக்கு இருக்குது. A is still present in excess. So that is excess reagent. But this is present in lesser amount and it has consumed completely to form the product. So that limits the reaction. So அது என்ன பண்ணுது, reaction வந்து இன்னும் கம்ப்ளீட்டாக நடக்க விடாமல் அது கம்மி குவான்டிட்டியில் இருக்கிறதுனால it has limited the formation of the product. So this will be the limiting reagent. Is it clear? The other reagent which are in excess are called the excess reagent. Recall the analogy that we used in stoichiometry concept, that is Kesari preparation. As per the recipe requirement, 2 cups of sugar are needed for every cup of rava. Consider the situation where 8 cups of sugar and 3 cups of rava are available. As per cooking recipe, we require 3 cups of rava and 6 cups of sugar to prepare 18 cups of kesari, we saw already. Even though if we have 2 more cups of sugar left out, we cannot make any more quantity of kesari. இப்போ kesari பண்றதுக்கு 6 cups of kesari ku 1 cup of sugar தேவைப்படுது. But if you are having 1 more cup extra of sugar, you can't use that because we need only 1 cup of sugar to make 6 cups of kesari. So we can't make any more quantity of kesari because நம்மக்கிட்ட ரவா இல்ல, ஒரே ஒரு கப் ரவா தான் இருக்கு, and 1 cup of sugar alone we are having, so that we can get 6 cups. Even if you have extra cup of sugar, we can't use that because we are having only 1 cup of rava. அப்ப அந்த 1 cup of ravaனால நம்மளால என்ன பண்ண முடியல, இருக்கிற extra quantity of sugar யூஸ் பண்ண முடியல. அப்ப sugar is excess reagent. Because of that, rava is in lesser amount, that will be the limiting reagent. Okay, extending the same analogy for the chemical reaction in which there 3 moles of sulfur are allowed to react with 12 moles of fluorine to give sulfur hexafluoride. Balance the equation is, yes, sulfur plus fluorine will give sulfur hexafluoride. As per stoichiometry, 1 mole of sulfur reacts with 3 mole of fluorine to form 1 mole of sulfur hexafluoride, and therefore 3 moles of sulfur reacts with 9 moles of fluorine to form 3 moles of sulfur hexafluoride. இதை அப்படி நம்ம 3 ஆல மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணிக்கணும். 3 into 3, 3. Reacts with 9 moles of fluorine to give 3 moles of sulfur hexafluoride. In this case, all available sulfur gets confused and consumed, and therefore it limits the further reaction. In the case la enna agudhu, sulfur வந்து 3 இருக்கு, fluorine 9 இருக்கு, 3 times of sulfur hexafluoride கிடைக்குது. Only 3 sulfur is there, but 9 fluorine are there. So sulfur ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கு, fluorine அதிகமா இருக்கு. So sulfur will be the limiting reagent, fluorine will be the excess reagent. So sulfur கம்மியா இருக்கிறதுனால இங்க எவ்வளவு sulfur consume ஆயிருக்கும், 3 times of sulfur கேத்த fluorine தான் இங்க consume ஆயிருக்கும். Remaining will be left out. Left out na, it will remain there as excess reagent. So hence sulfur is a limiting reagent and fluorine is the excess reagent. The limiting 3 moles of fluorine are in excess and they will do not react. Same way, this is a problem question, also very important. I have given this as homework also. Urea, a commonly used nitrogen based fertilizer, is prepared by the reaction between ammonia and carbon dioxide as follows. So this is urea, CONH2NH2, CONH2NH2 is urea. It is prepared by reaction with 2 moles of ammonia with 1 mole of carbon dioxide to give 1 mole of urea and 1 mole of water. So in the process, 646 gram of ammonia is allowed to react with 1.144 kg of carbon dioxide to form urea. So how much we are taking? 646 grams of ammonia, but 1.144 kg of carbon dioxide. If yaar adhigama irukka, kg is bigger or gram is bigger? Ammonia is only in grams, this is in kgs. This is 1.144 kg, this is in 646 grams. So who will be the excess reagent, who will be the limiting reagent, we will see from the calculation. If the entire quantity of the reactant is not consumed in the reaction, which is the limiting reagent? Limiting reagent எது நம்ம பார்த்தாலே கண்டுபிடிச்சிடலாம். Ammonia is going to be the limiting reagent. Then something is going to be in excess la, that how much it is consumed, excess la evlo consume ஆகி evlo left out ஆயிருக்குன்றது second question la calculate பண்ண சொல்றாங்க. For that, the balanced equation they have given to us. So the entire quantity of ammonia is consumed in this reaction. So இருக்கிற 646 gram of ammonia இதல consume ஆயிருச்சு. So ammonia will be the limiting reagent, but we are having 1.44 kg of carbon dioxide, that is the excess reagent. அப்ப அந்த 1.144ல எவ்வளவு consume ஆயிருக்குன்றதை நம்ம பார்க்கணும். Quantity of urea formed எவ்வளவு form ஆயிருக்குன்றதை from this table we have to identify. So reactant and product you have to split up into 2, and stoichiometric calculations or coefficients you have to put. From the equations you have to write number of moles of ammonia, 2 moles were there, and 1 mole of carbon dioxide, 1 mole of urea and 1 mole of water. So here number of moles of reactants allowed to react. நம்ம எவ்வளோ ரியாக்ட் பண்ணோம் அலோவ் பண்ணோம் ரியாக்ட் ஆகிறதுக்கு எவ்வளோ அலோவ் பண்ணியிருக்கோன்றதை we have to do mass by molar mass. ஸோ mass already ammonia எவ்வளோ கொடுத்துருக்குறாங்க 646 gram divided by mass of ammonia is nitrogen is 14 plus 3 times of hydrogen 14 plus 3 will be 17. So இதை divide பண்ணோன்னா you will get 38 moles. And this one we are converting this into kg into grams. So 1144 grams divided by carbon dioxide oda molar mass is 44, you will get 26 moles. So urea innum product form agala. Ipo namba allow பண்ணிருக்கோம் react ஆகிறதுக்கு. Actual number of moles consumed எவ்வளோ consume ஆயிருக்கு 38 இங்க consume ஆயிருக்கு இங்க only 1 mole na 2:1 ratio, that is 2:1 ratio. So 2 is the 38 அப்படியே இருக்கும் 1 means what, this 38 divided by 2. So இது 1 times நம்ம calculate பண்ணி எடுத்துக்கணும். So 38ல பாதி என்னது 19 because 2ல பாதி 1. So 38ல half will be 19. So because only 1 mole has reacted, இங்க 2 na இந்த 1 times தான் இங்க react ஆயிருக்கு. So that you have to write. Next, number of moles of product thus formed. So product எவ்வளோ form ஆயிருக்கும். So 2 molesக்கு 32 coefficient 38 moles. For 1 it is 19. Same way for urea, for 1 means it is going to be 19 moles. For water it is going to be 19 because 1 என்றது half, 2 la half. So 38 la half tha, it is going to be 19, 19, 19 everywhere. Number of moles of reactant left at the end of the reaction. Inga NH3 complete consume ஆயிடுச்சு இருக்கிற 646 கிராமுமே it is consumed. But CO2 1144 gramsல only half were consumed. So the left out will be 7 moles, it is still left out. The product பார்த்தீங்கன்னா urea is completely formed and water is completely formed. So since ammonia is present in lesser amount, it is the limiting reagent and it is consumed completely. Since carbon dioxide is more in amount 1144 grams, only half of that is consumed and the remaining left out moles is 7 moles is left out. So that calculation we have to show here. Quantity of urea formed will be number of moles of urea formed into molar mass of urea. So number of moles of urea, how much it is formed? 19 moles, and mole of urea, molecular masses of urea is 60 grams. You will get the answer as 1.14 kg of urea is formed. So excess reagent left over at the end of the reaction is carbon dioxide. How much carbon dioxide is left out? Is 7 moles is left out. So 7 into molecular mass of CO2, it is 44. So 7 into 44 will be 38. So this is how you have to do this calculation. I hope you all understood this. It is very, very simple. Who is present in larger quantity will be the excess reagent. Who is present in the lesser quantity will be the limiting reagent, and it will stop the reaction to form the entire product. The other one will be left out without reacting, which is an excess in nature. So today we have discussed the stoichiometric calculation and limiting reagent, which is very important. I have given the same worked out problem which is there in a textbook, limiting reagent problem. Just now we discussed the same as your homework and 1 or 2 definitions for your assignment. Please do understand and do your assignment and send your assignments on time. Thank you.